Okay, so we've got a piece of a stained glass design, and what we did is we didn't put any solder on the outside, which is how we want to do it. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a piece of copper wire and wrapping it around the outside. What that'll do is hold all the pieces together tightly. So we're going to wrap it around the outside first, then we're going to solder it, we're going to spot solder it all the way around, and then we're going to cover it with solder later. So the thing will be wrapped in a wire, which will make it much stronger, and then later we'll be connecting two little hooks or ringlets up here that we can attach a string to, so we can hang this up in a window or someplace like that. Okay, so what we're going to need to start here, obviously we're going to need some copper wire, and I have some really thin wire. We're going to need some tools. Right here I've got some tools that we could use, like here's a small pliers for bending it. Here's a little wire cutters for cutting the wire, and here's another little needle nose. So whatever you need to bend the wire around. And the other thing you're going to need is a bunch of tape. So I like to get it ready ahead of time so that I can put this on here. So I'm just going to start by, I want to just kind of take an estimate of how much wire I'm going to need. So I'm going to get myself, because I don't want to use this big spool here. So I'd rather just make sure that I have more than I need, and then I can always trim it down. So I've got a piece that's pretty long. Now I want to make sure this wire is really straight. I don't want, sometimes there's like kinks and bends in it. So I'm going to try to get rid of that, okay? So it doesn't really matter where you start. Let's say we're going to start right here on the corner. So what I'm going to do is this. I've got a block of wood that I'm going to use to set my glass in. That way it's not always laying on the floor. So I'm going to keep this block of wood, maybe like that. Now this has kind of got an unusual shape to it. I'm going to do my best I can here. So what I'm going to do right now is this. I'm going to wrap the wire on the outside of this. So I'm going to start with just a piece of tape, and the tape is going to hold the wire right against the outside edge of my glass. Now here's where you're going to bend it and wrap the edge nice and tight. Okay, now it's really important that you bend it when you're in those corners. So I'm going to just keep putting tape on here as I go to kind of hold this against the edge of the glass. Got that? And I'll bend it down here in the corner, put another piece of tape, I'll get around the edge, and then I'll bend it around this edge and so on. But I want it nice and tight. I don't want a bunch of space between the wire and the project itself. So I might need to take my pliers and just kind of push it down in those little cracks. And once again, just put tape until I get the wire all the way around the outside.